This by far is going to be the most dangerous celebrity horoscope you'll ever do, Mr. Raj. This guy is not only dangerous, but lethal. We found nothing but knives and lint in his pockets, and he goes by the name of Joker now. He's mentally retarded and does not see the difference between human life and an animal life. I suggest you take extra precaution when you deal with it, Mr. Raj. Good luck. Well, good evening, Mr. Raj. Hello, Mr. Ledger.
Oh, no. I'm not Heath Ledger. I'm the Joker. That is my true soul, Mr. Raj.
Well, I am here to evaluate your life through a method called Vedic
Astrology, yes, light of God. I know everything about it. I have been waiting for this moment, Mr. Raj.
Wait, how do you know?
Well, I've read mostly all your books from astrology at the speed of light to conjunction at the speed of light, and I hope you don't mind. I had to hack into your computer and get your book early on Aspects at the Speed of Light, which I know is destined to release on August 27, but I just couldn't wait. I hope you forgive me. I'm a great admirer of you, as you know, Mr. Raj.
Well then, let's get started with your horoscope. I'm sure many of our audience are waiting, as you know, including you, Mr. Ledger.
Ooh, I can't wait. You know, I have to tell you, I was a bit disappointed at finding out that my sun sign had changed in Vedic Astrology, and I had to psychologically prepare myself for that. It gets me quite angry sometimes, but then again, I tell myself, why so serious? Why so serious? Let's put a smile on that face.
So Heath, you were born as a Pisces ascendant with Sun, Mercury, and Mars sitting in the ascendant in the sign of Pisces. You have Moon in the sign of Gemini in the 4th house, Jupiter in the 5th house in the sign of Cancer, Saturn and the north node of the moon, Rahu, in the 6th house, and then you have Venus and the south node, Ketu, in the 12th house.
Right. Mr. Raj.
Now, as far as your popularity is concerned, you gain majority of your fame and popularity in the period of Saturn, which runs for 19 years. It's something called Mahadasha in Vedic astrology. And your period of Saturn of 19 years started in the year 2000.
Oh, Saturn. Oh, can't even make a bad joke about that planet. You got the pun, right?
Now, I know Mr. Ledger, and I know many of the audience right there must be wondering, how is it that this great actor, a genius actor like you, gained fame in the time period of Saturn, when Saturn had nothing to do with your fame? Its placement had nothing to do with your fame. More so, it's putting you in conflicts with enemies, diseases, and may I say even addiction. However, in order to do this, we have to look at your house of fame, your career, through a microscope. We're going to have to cut open your 10th house surgically, Mr. Ledger, and show you exactly why you gained fame in 2000.
Ooh, here comes the divisional chart. Are you going to do that little laser beam thing that you usually do on your channel and you open up the 10th house? Can you please do that for me this time?
Sure, why not? Just for you, I'll do that. So as we open your divisional chart, which surgically opens your 10th house of career and really shows the true picture of what's going on, we see that your divisional chart in Vedic astrology, known as the Samsa chart, has Taurus rising, where Saturn is in the 8th house of sudden rise and sudden fall. And not to mention, your Saturn is the most important planet, being the Taurus ascendant in this divisional chart. Because Saturn, Heath, is a yoga karka for your chart. And it's creating the most powerful wealth and Raj Yoga by being in mutual aspects with his best friend Venus from the 2nd house. This is creating a sudden rise to fame, a sudden rise to status, yet at the same time, by going back to your birth horoscope, a sudden fall due to disease and illness and harm to the body. However, Mr. Ledger, my visit here today is not to discuss your fame and your money and your interest in the movie industry, which clearly shows by Jupiter being in the 5th house of entertainment, exalted, looking at your ascendant, and in your D10 chart, Venus, the Lord of your ascendant, that represents artistic endeavors and creativity and acting talent, is sitting in the 2nd house of vocal talents with the mutual aspects of the 10th Lord, Saturn. But what I'm here to discuss today is the reason for your death.
Oh, geez, no one told me I was dead.
But the thing is, Mr. Ledger, your moon is sitting in the constellation of Aradhra. It is a constellation working behind a zodiac sign, which is known as Nakshatra. There are 27 of them, and they work behind each zodiac sign. And during the time of your birth, your moon was placed in the Nakshatra of Aradhra, which means storm, which means bringing of the lightning, which means a heavy, heavy burden and heavy war happening within the mind, which you yourself were aware of from the moment you took birth into this planet, into this three-dimensional world. You knew that there was a chaotic war happening in your life, and obviously your life events didn't help, including the sudden breakup of your parents, not to mention your moon, as aspected by the South Node Ketu from the 12th house. 12th house, which represents addiction, drugs, alcohol, bed pleasures, sexual pleasures. Not to mention your Venus, that represents relationship, your love, your ability to love, sits in the 12th house with the south node of the moon, Ketu, shows tremendous dissatisfaction from the opposite sex, yet it gives a clear indication, perhaps love for the same sex. And at the same time, the mind was occupied by indulging into activities like drug use, alcohol, and extreme sexual activities from an early age.
You look a bit serious. I don't like that.
The 12th house is a house of activities happening behind the scenes. Things that you don't show the world, like your sexual activity.
I don't like your tone, Mr. Raj.
And 12th house has been hemmed by all the major malefics you can think of. Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu. And because you found such dissatisfaction in things like food, wealth, pleasure, drinking, women, any kind of a thing that represents pleasure in your life was completely keeping you dissatisfied, you kept searching and searching for that thing that will finally give you pleasure. Yet that thing turned out to be a deadly drug. which, yes, you accidentally overdosed on, Mr. Ledger.
Ooh, these are magic cuffs. They're off.
What the?
I don't like you telling the world about my death and how I died and all the secret things that I have worked hard on keeping secret, Mr. Raj. So let's cut this short, shall we?
But you know what, Heath? I'm not afraid of you. I don't care if you kill me.
What? No! No! No, I'm not gonna kill you. No. You complete me. You follow something that is hardly ever noticed by this world. You follow the essence of the divine light, the true essence of human evolution, what makes us, what drives us, and what controls us. You know the truth, Mr. Raj. And because of this, and because the entire world's sleeping, they ridicule you. They make fun of you. They laugh at you. They think you're a freak for being an astrologer. Like me. But I see myself in you. I'll never kill you. Although you do kind of look tasty.
And also, since your moon, or everybody else's moon, represents the mother, and moon receives an aspect from the south node of the moon, Ketu. Not a very hard aspect. It shows a lot of stress on the mother and separation from the mother at an early age, which you were separated. You were going back and forth between your living with your father and living with the mother. You left the house at an early age. And it also shows quite a bit of heated arguments and power struggle with the mother. Because of the fact your Mars is sitting in the ascendant with Sun, receiving a lot of heat, and Mars aspects the fourth house of the mother, meaning that you had very much vocal and loud arguments with the mother, and pretty much you were a sharp tongue yourself, because your Mars and Mercury are in very close conjunction. And since they're sitting in the first house of your head, it shows you had a very short fuse regarding anger and just bursting on anyone who dared to cross your path. This is the reason why you need to calm down a little bit and not take my consultation to your heart.
I hate this! You want to know, I had a wife once, and she said you don't smile too much. Well, so you know what I did? I took this knife, and I slashed my lips. This way I can smile every single time she sees me. But eventually I had to kill her, cut her up, and eat her as a dinner. Maybe I am a joker.
So this actually concludes your horoscope. It really tells a clear picture that you were quite a troubled mind who used his diction as a way to escape all the aspects of your life.
Wow! All you freaks out there, if you're new to Mr. Raj's channel, you better subscribe below, or I'm gonna have to give you a visit.